sinamhlanje ngiphethe yena isimo sensizwa la wena phezulu kwesimo sendlela izokwazi ukuhamba mami inguze nesimo sembuzo ngokuqonda wonke phezulu kwesimo sempilo nezinto ezenzakalayo ngithi nami ngijabula nami mangibona abantu abasesebasha bakwazi ukubuza isimo sembuzo phezulu kwesimo sempilo ngaphandle kwesimo sendlela ngithi naye uzozithula naye azisho ukuthi ungubani phezulu kwesimo sempilo ngaphandle kwesimo sendlela.
Well, mina ngosiyabonga xa ngiphelile benginombuzo oyi-2 kodwa sabona masikhathi siloku siya ukuthi ngizakhumbula zonke izinto engifuna ukuzibuza.
Okay, hayi samamukela usabonga kusithunywa umoya phezulu kwesimo sempilo. Sicela manje ukuthi singangena endaweni endlela we can ask your question.
The question that I had,
Yes.
what does the gods have in store for me?
Yes. Okay, yabona lapho konke phezulu kwesimo sendlela uNkulunkulu angeke asiphe that message ukuthi okay mangizokubekeleni phezulu kwesimo sempilo yakho, because if you wanna know what God stored for you lapho uzokwazi you tend to relax.
Okay.
You'll relax if you know you won't do anything. So that's why in life ingoba nama challenge, because God know yena ukuthi ukubekeleni, but we need to fight for that thing in order to get it.
What is that thing? Is there a way we can identify it?
That thing maybe it's something that you uyifunayo wena empilweni yakho in order to achieve. You know angithi ufuna in your life. You know very well ukuthi wena go into ozidingayo empilweni yakho, like i-succeed yakho ukuthi ufunani ucelani.
With all the things that you've asked,
Yes.
From God and the gods themselves.
Yes.
Let's say you're having a bit of you feel, because your time and your God's time is totally different, right?
Yes.
So you can always feel like there's a bit of a delay going on here. You know, maybe there's something going wrong. How do you identify it?
No. In life empilweni konke phezulu kwesimo sempilo, there's a script in the Bible said konke kunesikhathi. Mshumayeli 3. So in everything in life inesikhathi sayo. uNkulunkulu akadelay, is still preparing you. So that sometimes in life ezinye izinto mazenzakala uthi uNkulunkulu kumele ukuthi akulungiselele yona, because sometimes God can bless you now, but maybe you are not fit for that blessing.
You're not ready.
Yes.
Okay. All right. What else? I think that's it. Okay, wait. Personal. Are they okay with me? Are we in good terms with mine? Because I feel like I haven't been sure for a couple of months now if I'm in good terms, because there's a lot of things that's been kind of like it's a roller coaster. The roller coaster is going through all of that. So I'm just trying to see if I'm still. Is there a way for me to find out personally in my own space without going to anybody, or do I have to literally find someone who has the gift to foresee?
Yeah, when I in life, because when I when I see things now, like this is what we need now. Like be real, be real. When and you must know into my phone, and wait and be patient on the road. Because if you wanna ask for this. You ask for many things. Now it himself end up being confused because you've got a lot of things.
And you divert.
So sometimes in life you need to be patient. That's a key. In order as in those like, because it's a man to spell skluma now, like mangana in a spiritual injury. I saw you okay. All right, but most of the thing in this thing is that's a lot of things that in your mind, but since you need to keep it as in like into one, then deal with that thing. Then when you are done with that thing, then you go it was easy, because sometimes Nina we appears with the environment in. There's a lot of people and the Western Scotty ni manhlangene ngabangani nokuthi umunye umuzo afunele kunalo now maybe you and when you read the word of God iyasho ukuthi ungayithandi into kamakhelwane makho.
True.
You must be real to yourself.
True.
So that in order to achieve, because most of the time first thing first maybe it's your first time uzongena ufuna understand that the chain of ancestors. True. And God.
Yes.
In order to understand that journey, we need to know yourself. Who are you? Because identity is more important in your life, to know yourself, who are you? Because if you don't know yourself, you'll end up in your life being confused. Do something that you won't even finish. Like start.
In terms of identification, you can identify yourself, right? right?
Yes.
There's so many, I would say, different forms.
Yes.
You can identify yourself in, let's say, I want to do this, I want to be that, right?
Yes.
Like you say.
Yes.
Then you jump from, like, now I want to do this, I want to be that.
Yes.
Isn't that just a form of you saying maybe that decision I didn't, maybe that decision is not, it wasn't the brightest way to identify myself, or it wasn't the brightest decision to influence myself, Let me choose a different way to characterize myself and to identify myself. Do you think, am I running away from the true identity, or am I recognizing something in evolution or development that's better? Can somebody do that? Can you jump from, I think this is who I am, to, hey wait, this is who I really am, to on a later on stage, oh no, this is not who I am. Is that a form of you've lost yourself? Or you are just stuck in between, I'm going through this phase and I'm actually allowing them to happen with such little control? I would say such little control, I would say that. How do you balance that? How do you stick with the original identification and accept it, Because sometimes you choose not to accept it because you feel like, I can change this, I can develop this, I don't want to be this person no more. I want to try and do that. Is it, would you say it's a bad thing? Is it a misleading thing to think like that? Or does it need a certain discipline to think like that?
When I invest in first, when you talk about identity, you must know your roots.
Okay.
Where
you from?
Because most of the time, identity was we born to Puma. And sometimes in life, in order to know yourself, you need to invite God. When you invite God, because when your life you won't see a direction.
True.
You won't see your direction, because most of the time, mislead.
Okay.
This is where identity. Because for an example for me, now I didn't know my identity, who I am.
How long did it take you for that?
When I started this journey in 2008, it's where it started lapo. Yes, it started now. I have
a true identity.
Sense was born about
okay.
Then it goes. Okay, I was having challenge. But 2012, this is where I got it from God. Because yes, in 2008, I was being but 2012, it's where it changed everything. It's where I found my identity, who I am, because I started to invite God with my ancestors. This is where the connection, this is where my own identity with who I am. Because most of the time, in the Bible, you need within identity, it links with God. Then this is where in the zings of after God, this is where you go to your ancestors, in the ancestors, this is where you know when you ban. This is where when identity, this is where God will guide you and show you who are you,
this ancestral thing. God, I have a question with that. You're spending time with God and inviting God in your life. It takes a very personal experience.
Yes.
I would say.
Yes.
I don't think I can find a godly man. I don't think I can find a godly man who can invite God into my life.
Yes.
No, I don't think I can do that. I think you can find God and invite him in your life. Yes. So I've been having this bit of a glitch. I think I found God. I know God, I recognize God, I sense his powers.
Yes.
But okay, I think you've answered it earlier on when we were having a conversation earlier on.
Yes.
That there's fake prophecy and there's good prophecy.
Yes.
And the way you can recognize that is through energy levels. If you connect with it and you don't connect with it. I personally feel like I have connected with people that I really thought they are the good direction to God, or even energy. Let's just say energy in general.
Yes, yes.
You feel like this energy is the right energy to lead me to the God that I believe exists, or the God that we all believe exists,
yes,
and who is more powerful than anything. Only to find out on a later on stage that there's a bit of a glitch, or there's information you heard on the journey you took to try and bring yourself closer to God took you the other way around, eh? How did you find a more direct, stable path, moving with God? How do you actually find that direct path of moving with God instead of going, oh no, I think I found God, and then later on you're like, I need to repent again. I need to go back to church. I need to go see Pastor Mark to make myself feel better again, to make myself feel closer to God. Losing the connection with God is very easy in this, influential world, this materialistic world, or even spiritual world in general. You lose it. You're like, and you feel like going to church and finding somebody to remind you who God is makes you feel better. But that feeling only lasts for that presence of the time of that person making you feel better. When you walk alone again, what do you think one should think or one should use to keep a reminder, a stable direction towards this is me with God, I found him. I cannot say, oh no, I took the wrong path, or oh no, I'm losing the connection with God. Because once I think you have the connection with God, you can't really lose it. You can always just rebuild it. Not really rebuild it, you can always build it. Like, this is my connection with God. Now I'm building it to a higher level. I'm hearing him more, and he's hearing me more. And I'm doing more of his work at all times. How do you remind yourself to, hey, don't lose that direction, or don't second guess what you think is a direct connection with God? How do you figure that out? What constant reminder, what practice do you follow on your personal time to just keep yourself on that stable mentality of I have found God? Because you can easily just go, have I really? Did I? Is it really him? And that question is it's such an innocent question, and it's such a lad question, because we pass it by saying, man, of course, why would I, why would he forsake me? Why would I forsake him now when I think I found him? And then you just might hit that curve quick, fast, and be like, what advice would you give, to just keep your mind on that, and even when the diversion comes, you do not second guess finding God, because second guessing finding God is it's a thing, I think that's why people tend to always be baptized over and over and repent over and over and over again, because I feel like once you found him and once you repented once, there's no use of you going back to a sinful life or going back to, I think I need to find God again. Then that means you've been misled all this time. You think that I found God. Misidentification of yourself also prolongs. So I think that's where the delay comes in.
Okay, in order to answer that thing, first thing first,
True.
You found God.
True.
Sometimes most of the thing you need to read your Bible more often.
Okay.
Because there are some script in order, because there's a script because I can preach the gospel.
Okay.
I can preach it, but now I'm not perfect.
True.
I'm not perfect, but don't trust me because I'm the one who's preaching the gospel. Okay. That time is that the word.
Yes.
So in order you need to trust him and know what when sin is. Yes, people, they can talk and say this and this and this, because about pastors, we can't mention their name.
Yeah,
they were preaching, we preach, they were preaching, but people, they turn Guti, but they were not trusting God, they were trusting people.
Okay, that's that's misleading. That's where the misleading comes in. That's where you second guess your
No, we won't say it's misleading. It's because you people, you tend to trust the human being. You no longer trusting God.
Okay.
Because you are trusting that person. Okay. This is where in the script say, you need to trust God.
Okay.
That person that way to encourage you. But that person, we are shinja. No one is perfect. We are not to be perfect.
True.
So in order you need to know when I'm gonna say sometimes when you need to believe in God. The conclusion, you need to believe in God. More believe
There's no second guessing.
No, don't guess your God, because now.
True.
Because when you are dating, when you maybe your partner doubt, the relationship you also doubt.
True.
So you need to trust him. When there's no trust, there's no God. First thing first, when you say you trust God, you must know there are some principles that you need to follow, which has in mind. I'll always submit to you.
Okay, I think I get it.
Yes.
Once you tend to struggle and start trust.
Yes, you need to
trust in
God,
in your creation.
Yes.
Trust in God's, because you are the creation of the Lord. So trust in your Creator in that sense.
Yes.
Keep on thinking. Keep it in mind that hey, I got this trust. If I'm gonna fall off this cliff, I'm gonna fall off this cliff knowing that He's gonna catch me.
Yes.
No matter what happens, even if I fall off and literally don't come back to earth, that's Him saying, hey, I'm catching you in a different spiritual form. Just come back home. So trust is the most essential thing.
Yeah, it's the most important thing, because if you start doubting God, yes, you said you trust God, but sometimes your actions, I can say,
you second guess it. It's the delay. It's because we think about this delay because we're living in this materialistic world of saying, I don't have a house, I don't have a car, I don't have this nice shoe, I don't have this nice, dreads, I don't have this nice skin tone, you know what I mean? And people pray for stuff like that, and they really do believe that, hey, God is going to grant me that. And I really do believe that, hey, God will really grant them that. Nothing is impossible to Him.
Yeah, that's true.
Then, during the delay for asking for all those things, that's where the misdirection of did I really find Him comes in. But I think you've answered it with, this is where the trust and the patience comes in. Like, I really do trust in God. I really am patient with it. And let's go back to the point that we're black. Now, you said something important, balancing, finding God first, and once you have, you're comfortable with that, and you don't second guess it and all that, then comes the other part, which is, okay, now your ancestral side.
Yes.
Who are your guardian angels? The way I would like to say it.
Yeah.
They help you from falling. They're the people that are physically here to hold you and be like, hey, just get up there and go get it. How do you balance that, especially from the society that's so mixed? You find people that grow up with no parents, and they're not led to their right ancestral paths. People that are born without a father, without a mother, And what I've learned from my elders is you balance the two. You always balance your ancestral mother's side, and you always balance your father's ancestral side.
Yes.
In terms of which one is more important, I don't know.
Yes.
I've never asked that. But in terms of which one is more important, I think they're both important equally. But how does one, from all these different backgrounds, from somebody who was born without parents, from somebody who was born with a single parent, from somebody who was born with both parents and they're not practicing it, and it limkwele, like, hey, you're the seed of these people and they're not doing anything about it.
Yes.
So I'm gonna be on top of you so that you accomplish what they're failing to accomplish. How does so many challenges for one human being? How do you balance that part once you found God? Because now you have all the power, because now you have God, you have all the power, like literally. Here's the situation. How do you approach it and how do you conclude it?
Yeah, first and first, my ancestors they are more important now, because most of the time, because you won't remove us next to it. Because like your grandmother, I feel your late grandmother's okay, this is what is happening in your life.
True.
Actually, okay, this is what is happening. But in turn, ancestors this is where isn't business because now our ancestors, they do okay, the flesh, but the soul we are
okay.
Now we are this is where abantu lapho ukuthi ulinka nakhona lapho ulinka khona abantu abangalinki uNkulunkulu nama-ancestors. There are some people they link God with ancestors. Now you can't judge them if they don't link God with ancestors. You can't judge them.
And how do you identify yourself? Like are you the person who's supposed to be linking God with the ancestors? or are you supposed to be the person who's just praising God, or wait, just praising ancestors?
Like yabona first thing first yabona singabantu angithi sometimes ngithanda ukuthi ezwe ekuseni sometimes sinokuthi siyazela into zesintu we no longer attend into zesintu.
True.
So when you decide okay I'm gonna do this yet but yabona especially abantwana who have calling.
Okay.
They
have bigger problems.
Yes, that's the thing that's gonna stick away with you. Yabona when you have a calling.
Okay.
And they are differ with the calling.
Okay.
Like I will talk about in 10 years like a prophet.
Okay.
Ukuba umthandazi.
Yes.
Ukuba umprofit. It's where lapho ke lapho you're gonna use your ancestors and God. Because they will tell you, mawuthi to hamba uyahlola bazokutshela na ukuthi nogogo hamba naye. There's a grandmother that or now like uyena okusizayo.
They'll tell you that.
Yes.
Now
uye ukupe that gift.
Now
okunikeze le gift le ukuthi ikwembathe. This is where lapho ukuthi noma uzoqala wenzani uqala uletini uyambiza uNkulunkulu kepha uhamba uphahle na futhi ubabize nanabo because nabo bazokutshela like for an example but maybe your grandmother was a prophet.
Okay.
Now useka kuwe.
Yes.
So now we need to continue with that path. So as you maybe are confused, go and consult. Then that person actually, okay, you've got the gift. Like for an example, actually, okay, this is what is happening. Best now you agree about it. Then when this is where okay, you're seeking help now. This is where okay, this is what you're gonna do now. Le gift yakho ihamba ngani le gift first le gift yakho ihamba ngani ngomthandazo.
Okay, yes.
Ingomthandazo le gift yakho.
Yes.
It's a prayer. When you pray, this is where lapho your gift uplifteka. This is where you're gonna see ama vision. This is where ozoboniswa khona.
True. I have a question. This thing of okoko hamba nawe
yes.
or your grandfather hamba
yes.
nawe and whatnot. Does it appear normally on the one side of the family, or does it appear on both sides of the family, or it can appear from one side of the family? And if that's the case, would you bring more focus on the other side of the family, or would you try to balance the two, or would you rather seek something that works for you? How would you advise somebody? Would you rather go with the idea of I'm gonna go do this because they are gonna give me what I want, and they're the ones that came to me and showed me this thing, or are you gonna still try to balance the two? That's what I want to know. Because now I feel like personally I've always had a one-sided relationship and I'm fine with that. I have no problem with that. But now these people that go with you and that protect you, that guide you, they have such limited communication with you personally. And that's if you allow them to even talk to you.
First thing first, when it comes to that side, it depends now on okay. If you are maybe like a single parent, baba and mama
okay.
First thing first is if they are not married.
Yeah.
So most of the time, if baba could like okay, baksalile ukona, you are not married, this is where like maybe a gift maybe pagame kabo mama.
It will be more powerful that side.
It will be more powerful.
Obviously, it makes sense to follow that path.
Yes.
Now, for a child who basically, let's say, this is why you have Kumulekaya and all that. But for a child who wasn't born with like a family and he's having these, and he went to go consult and he found out that Umkulu Hamba now or whatever the case might be.
Like first thing first.
Now, what do they do? Where do they start? Because now they can't find their roots, right?
First thing
So
first.
where do they start?
First thing first, okay, lapho ke sizolungisa lapho. No one ongana family. Like
They're gonna have to hunt.
Like first thing first, uzalo uba nomama nobaba.
Let's say they passed away in a
They
very
passed
young
away.
age.
Yes, maybe you've got maybe a relatives.
Often, let's say you go to an orphan, straight up orphan,
Yes.
you lose connection with your family, they put you in an orphanage hope house, they literally take you through school, and here you are now, grown man. You have no paper trace that leads you to this is my relative that does this or does that. Let's just say that's the case, you know?
Okay.
And this person goes to somebody who's gifted and literally says to him, hey, I'm having this visions or this issue, or not even an issue, I have these questions, you know?
Yes.
And, you know, somebody who sees tells them like, hey, now what I'm seeing is that somebody's going with you and you have a connection with God and you have a connection with your ancestors and you should balance both of them, right?
So
now, where do they How do they go about that?
Yeah, it's a good question there. Yabona, when it comes to that thing there, okay, iba challenging, but umntwana onjalo, umntwana esingamusa like ehlane in open field. It's where up you're gonna talk to ancestors, but when Megeza as a consultant, it's where up you're gonna see vision. Okay, this gift because you must know what we are from your mother's side or your father's side. If it came from both sides, and I explain you that story. Okay, so lendole sizohamba siyoyicela sibabize nabo ayidala zabo ukuthi zimuphe a clear a vision bayibonakalise, because that thing it won't be like into ezoyenzakala manje into ukuthi mele siyincenge, like
it's gonna take time.
It's gonna take time mele sambihlane, because you cannot do ukuthi ejardi lendole, because lapha ke asikaba yitholi identity yakhe until uze kufika ama vision, until because uNkulunkulu nama-ancestors bayakwazi ukudlala like indlela bayakwazi ukwenza indlela, you end up getting a connection, because sizocela sizophahla sibabize nangumntwaneni azisho negama, like let's say usiyabonga siyamosha ukuthi okay nangu siyabonga umntwaneni, sizocela nina okhokho omkhulu ukuthi sibonakaliseni nangumntwaneni ngoba uzocela indlela ngoba uyahlupheka phezulu kwesimo sempilo, sizomshadela sicela ukuthi akube nokukhanya phezulu kwempilo yakhe, bese kuyavuleka kuqaqeke niyibonakaliseni nani ukuthi ngobani, bese konke bese kuyaqaqeka kube nama link ukuthi wonke, bese then we pray. Then this is where God, like on ancestors, maybe like for an example, maybe there's the ego actually a link. Maybe you meet someone else, maybe actually this is where the being links are because true ancestors end up being so you told identity because Maralendo is patient.
Okay.
When you maybe Moses oganjalo, maybe ube patient. Sibe patient naye abe nane patient because most of the time sizobe sisehlane asking for direction from them. For ancestors to give us direction in order to use those was uvela.
Okay.
Yes.
So the advice you give somebody with no parents and they stuck in an ancestral battle, they go consult first.
Yes.
And then they continue through prayer, hoping that the ancestors will reveal. Like, and that this person, is where you come from and whatnot. Okay.
That person nalo assist need ukuthi naye ukuthi abe na assist naye ukuthi akwazi ukumsiza ukuthi in order to get that identity.
The patience.
Ukuthi azokwazi ukumsiza ukuthi actually that link because ngendlela masithemba uNkulunkulu into zakhe uyakwazi ukuzenza ngendlela yakhe.
Because you have the biggest power, like I said.
Yes.
You have the biggest power.
So most of the time people they don't have patience.
True.
It's a good question. True. Because there are some people maybe who are watching this video like bafila like both sides. It's a good question. I don't have that thing. That person needs umuntu owesintu like to assist yena mozomasiza umuntu khona kumele umcelise ehlane ezamseli that have mentioned ukuthi kumele ayoceliswa alayitole namakhandela like aceliswe.
True.
Aceliswe ngoba angeke you can't say any saying. Masiphahla thina sithi sizothi sibiza idlozi elikhanyayo. Ngina okhokho omkhulu bebabiza kunina siyacela ukuthi nisondele nangu umntwaneni usabonga la sizomcelisa indlela ukuthi mkhanyiseleni sibonakaliseni niyivezeni phezulu kwesimo sempilo yakhe bese kuhambe iqaqeke konke amafinda fast.
With patience it will reveal itself.
Yes.
All right. Now there's people, like we say, there's people that get their parents' side,
yes,
and they get the mother and the father's side,
yes,
and Amadrozi, both of them they are powerful and whatnot, right? Now, with that, not everybody that the ancestors reveal themselves to want them to, how can I say, become sangomas or do whatever they do. Some of them are literally just guardian angels that are like, hey bro, you asked for this, we are going to assist you to go achieve whatever you want to achieve.
Yes.
Now, I feel like there's a bit of a confusion I have.
Yes.
You know, with somebody who follows you.
Yes.
Are they following you with the intention of, I'm going to protect you, or I'm going to be your first guardian angel, it's going to be God, and then it's going to be me,
yes,
and it's going to be the rest of your family,
yes,
right? And my only sole purpose is taking care of you,
yes?
Or how do you really identify if that's what they only came to do, or if they also came to, how can I say, give you a proper godly guidance, such as you don't have to practice ukuyenza amathambo or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Live your life, go to school, study, you know, whenever you a chance to club or no matter you know what I mean? How do you keep the bond with well, I would say your guardian angels who follow you every time? How do you keep the bond and still practice, you know, this modernized lifestyle of we work, we get money, we eat, we sleep, you know? How do you actually stop stressing about I have somebody here, you know, and I constantly need to make sure that, you know, if we're in good terms, you know, sometimes life becomes messed up, not because of your ancestors. Things can be fine with your ancestors. You've done everything, things are perfect. And then life just takes a turn, randomly, for whatever reasons, non-ancestral reasons. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to find out is, how do you keep that link and how do you find out exactly what they want? Because now, sometimes you can do it through prayer and all that and still be, because they talk a different language.
Yeah, that's true.
They talk
that's true.
Yeah, that's why you have people like you and other people that can understand that language.
Yeah, that's true.
So somebody who's with you and protecting you, obviously they're here for sole purpose of helping you achieve what you want to achieve, and also a bit of what God would love for you to give the world, also what He brought you here for. How do you have a more vivid, more direct, more understanding purpose of their existence? Because some people don't understand, why are my ancestors here? Why are they not in heaven? Why are they here? You know, why are they not with God, having a great time, waiting for me to go there? You know, why are they here on earth asking me to be aware that, hey, we are here, be aware of my existence, and be aware that my Father is telling me that I should tell you that you need to do this and this and this and that to make sure that your whole clan that's already dead and the one that's coming, they have a proper path. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How does one literally understand the direct purpose of the existence of your ancestors? Because sometimes it's pure protection, but sometimes they can protect you and you can still not be fulfilling why they're here. You know, why they're with you, why they're walking with you. Sometimes they're just walking with you because they need you to do something while they're still in the process of protecting you.
Yeah, in order to answer you all those things, some ancestors, we know what happened now. The first question,
how do you identify their purpose, especially in your life as an individual?
Sometimes people as your ancestors, they in order to protect you.
True.
In order to protect you, and some of the things maybe sometimes to slaughter. You make them happy because they are protecting you.
True. You keep them strong.
You keep them strong because there's one thing. If you don't pay attention, as I've mentioned earlier, if you don't pay attention to your girlfriend or anyone else, now you gotta pay attention. So if you pay attention, why back you need now do it.
How do you pay that natural attention?
Because they will come with dreams.
Okay.
You need to slaughter you need to do it to slaughter because to say good thing, to think to see about. Because lot of things was protected like as is born like target.
True.
Like it's called an ancestor, they are protecting. In order to do those things, I appreciate you are here in my life. Because most of the time, as better as black people, when they must tend to they are better. When we go with him, why you don't have a connection with your ancestors? That's another thing. Asked in you only go there because it's something. Yeah, something. But okay, let me just go in your path. Let me just pay attention to my ancestors. Most of the time, when you're first because we are there because we're so in danger.
Yes. That's what I'm trying to understand. That day to day, that natural. You know what I mean? It's like just like breathing. I must have the connection with my ancestors, just like breathing. I must be able,
like early in the morning.
Yes. That's what I want.
Early in the morning, like when you wake up.
Yeah.
Like the candle like himself. Pray to God.
True.
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 Ask you
Every morning.
like leyo idifa maybe uma ungasumntwana like leyo ungayenza uma ubumntwana wakamoya. But if you are just a child ukuthi okay, you don't have any gift, you only just do it once a week. Maybe once a week you're gonna do it. Maybe like you say, let me just remind my sisters, okay, let me just but akumelanga ngihlale boma 3 months you didn't do that thing.
Okay.
Like
that's where the then Makshoba.
This is where you go there.
Now you're going to beg. You're not going to say, "But I've been with you all this time. Why are you letting me? Why are you leaving me now?"
Yeah, but that's why they do. If you pay attention, then we pay more attention.
It will be easy for them to come back and be like, "Sorry."
No, that way they will always protect you. You'll hear people saying things. They will always you always when you sing that Indonesian like you
it's a pure everyday connection that is natural.
Yes. So most of the time uba connected to my sister, it helps you more kakhulu. Which no matter against let's say something, it's where I've got the link. I won't suffer most of the time because I pay attention to these people.
True.
Because most of the time music is we don't even pay attention. We pay attention because we no longer in period we don't have into the material. Like get better. I'm unemployed.
That's always
I'm unemployed. I'm savings done. But if your life big when you pay attention,
you wouldn't be paying attention to your ancestors. You wouldn't be paying attention to God. You wouldn't be. You would be more in a can I say a natural flow. Like it's natural to talk to God. It's natural to talk to my ancestors. It's natural to club. It's natural to do this. I understand it to an extent because I don't practice a lot. That's why I feel like my questions are based on I go there when I feel like, oh no, this is not good. This is not good. My techies are getting torn. I don't have a clipper. Hear me.
No. Not supposed to.
I think that's a problem.
That's a problem because when we are music.
And then that's gonna take time for him to come back and be like,
because we find we are when we want something.
Okay, so ancestrally, naturally, to keep a day-to-day practice, if you have a calling,
yes,
every morning
you
have the white candle. If you don't have the bone or whatever, if you just
like the bone,
somebody who's okay, wait, let me ask you this before I lose it. You said unomuntu onomoya, and there's somebody that just has ancestors as a black person.
Like everyone, like as a human being. Okay, let me try to first. Like as everyone has some ancestors.
Okay, yeah.
Let's they've got the gift of ancestors. A gift differ. There's a lot of gifts. The woman's ancestors. Nabantu abathandaza, prophet. Nabantu abayizangoma. This is where first is oqala la kakhulu. Mina le enguyo kule jena enguyo. My gift is it's a prophet and yokuthandaza futhi.
Okay.
So all those things in the you give the enguyo. I must live.
How did you identify it?
Because most of the time being nama vision.
Okay.
Like I used to sometimes to dream besinto zakhona zayenzakala. Like ngoniswa nezinto noma kuzenzakala something. I'll be the one oyibonayo.
All right.
This is where namasanqala ngikhula. This is where I saw what I need to nami ngisukume ngizimele izinto.
So nobody told you that this is what you should do.
Okay, let me say
in the sense of, let's say, I just want to be specific on that. Not in the sense that you went to go ask and be like, what is my calling? And my grandfather's here, does he want me to follow the calling? Or was it a matter of, I am naturally making this decision and I am going to practice these things and I want you guys to tell me what you want? Did you find out this calling from your ancestral and your visions, or did you find it out from somebody who literally told you, like, hey, your ancestors keep telling you that you need to do this and you're not listening to them. So I'm telling you now that they are telling you that you should do this. How did you, because another difficult thing is identifying raw material. Because we're living in a world with so many lies, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Some people, they say you have a calling to be to throw bones. But
Yeah.
that wasn't your initial calling. But just because you've done all the necessary practices, so you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for somebody who's like still starting, how do
Okay.
you?
Yabona lapha first thing first. So you know amajoba besakhuluma ama different types of calling, ama gift from ancestors.
Yes.
As you tell you like ukuthandaza prophet. Some people are abathandaza. Like some people they're born to pray for people. Like that's your gift for praying people.
Yes.
When you praying for them, by healer, by was healer.
That's true.
Best no prophet. This is where there's a voice that is talking to a tela indaba. This is a prophet.
That's a prophet.
That's a prophet.
That's what you
Yes,
prophet.
I mean I do both. Yokuthandaza and prophet.
Okay.
This is where more prophet. This is where they tell you isn't.
Yes.
But okay, when you come to me to consult, this is where they're gonna tell me what's happening, and I can't tell you something maybe if future is Wednesday. I need to tell you something current right now because future no one knows in the future. So in the middle of consult again, then and I need to tell you something as similar because I can't tell you something as puzzle. Most of the time abantu babatshela izinto abangazazi, then they tend to accept because they are desperate, they want help.
Yeah, we spoke about desperation. Desperation is a problem.
So that's iba inkinga iba number one. In order ukuthi lapho you end up again so yenza into engamelanga uthungela because most of the time kona nobungoma ubusangoma.
Yes.
Ubusangoma, if you have a gift of usangoma, you need to dream into link with nobusangoma.
Okay.
You dream. This is where this is where many pet ebungomeni because I can't tell you uyisangoma while you are dreaming into azaboma jazz like into say like ama jazz like into ezigcoka abantu baseZion like these people ama prophets azigcokayo.
Now how do you identify these things?
The job ngisayichaza la.
Yes.
Lapho lento le ukuthi when you are dreaming ama jazz iphika into ezikanda that links with a prophet.
Prophet, okay.
Bese mina ngithi kumele uyothwasa ubungoma, which is wrong.
Ubungoma
is a different thing lapho ukuthi bona they are dealing with namabhayi. They are dealing amabhayi, dreaming amabhayi, different amabhayi. Ubone afakwe like there's a red skirt that they are wearing it.
Oh, okay.
So lapho this is where lapho your pet, your ancestors, they will understand. I-connection yakho izoba lapho kulapho. And so lapho this is where lapho othatha khona indlela. This is where lapho iphethe yakho kumele ibe khona. Mangabe yobungoma milusti iyohlala ebungomeni. Bese kuba yabona kulo ma gift lapho.
What about this one? You didn't tell me this one.
Which one?
Like the first one, Uktandaza.
Uktandaza. Okay.
What type of visions do you have?
Uktandaza, most of the time you could sense. Okay, but this person needs prayers.
Is it energy? Is it more? Is it
more connection? What you are tandaza, we don't prophet. Like maybe I will come to you. I've got a problem like this and this.
I know your problem.
No. Like maybe when I tandaza. Like when I will come to you and say, I've got a problem this and this. That's when you're gonna tell me, okay, let's pray about your situation. Okay, then this is where you're gonna pray. Most of abatandaza, they don't prophet.
Okay.
It's more. We are so fortunate if you've got both. But abatandaza umuntu ozomtshela inkinga. Or sometimes
tell me your problems, I'll pray for.
I'll pray for a problem. Okay. Sometimes I feel the negative energy. There's bad energy. I need to pray.
There are those type of people.
Yeah, I need to pray in
like
this
energy.
Yes,
energy.
Because like you could sense these people are not okay. But I don't know the problem, but they are not okay. I need to pray for them in order to be right.
I like that. That's what I needed. I needed to because that's personally on my side.
Yes.
Yeah, that's okay. Now these people they identify these visions through practicing the daily routine.
Yes, when we're a prophet or mtandazo or something, we need to do it more like every day.
And then that just have their ancestors as guardian angels, what would you advise them? Do they do it once a week?
Like
to keep the connection with
like Leo, maybe once a week you could do it like the candela lako, then pray to them.
Another question. Does one need to consult? Does one really need to consult? Why doesn't it just come natural? Why doesn't the healer just come to you and tell you that this is the power that I'm given by the higher, and they're telling me that I should tell you that you have problems?
Yeah.
Does one necessarily need, because you can be deceived. you can like desperation, like you explain desperation.
Yes.
Like now, how does one run away from? Because desperation is such an easy thing. We're living in such a brutal, rude
Yeah, that
world.
one I could answer that question.
Yes.
Okay, more Leo, maybe maybe sometime maybe like maybe we are in the mall or somewhere, a taxi, or we are walking, maybe I could feel there's something wrong with you.
Yes.
But Leo, it's more difficult with more maybe who's there's this problem because some people some they do believe in ancestors, some they don't.
Okay.
So that thing is a problem most of the time.
So
I'm going to tell
people
you first mean okay, I do it sometimes. Maybe in public space, maybe I feel, but when I'm going to start that thing, you need to have a conversation with that person. You can't just tell umuntu. You need to have the conversation and maybe try some topic either a link with ancestors and see the response of that person, because you can't just boom.
Okay, so the more natural way to look at this thing is that you need to naturally allow it to happen instead of you always going to find out, is everything okay?
But now sometimes I can't go around telling people. Some people, they need to come. Maybe you could feel now there's something, because there's a voice. Everyone, there's this voice that keep on about to say neglect. That voice keep on telling things are not okay. Things are not okay, because most of the time there's a voice that will tell you, that inner voice will tell you, this one needs to be done, and this thing needs to be done. But when you tell you to ignore, we are able to about you tell you to ignore. And the lendo lezo sometimes yes to put a consultant, maybe once in a while you go and check your things.
What's once in a while? Is it
once in a while, maybe
month,
no, not more often. Like you did maybe
once a year,
maybe once or twice a year.
Once or twice?
Twice a year.
Once or twice a year?
Twice a year.
And then you just keep your connections on a daily routine.
Yes.
You know why I'm asking you this?
Yes.
I feel like sometimes we tend to want answers and we don't have the right questions at a specific time.
That's
that
why
you want to know. That's why I feel like now all these questions that I used to have and I didn't know how to ask them, they're coming in now. I'm like, hey, here's an opportunity. You better ask this one, you know.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing to know.
I've always known that there is a way to keep a constant connection with your ancestors, to keep a connection and stop the worry, because I don't want to worry about my ancestral side anymore, and my, I just want to do the daily practices. If something is wrong, then they can tell me, because now I feel like I don't have that, like I was saying to you, that daily direct communication. So I don't know, this is my question of saying, am I okay with my ancestors? Remember I asked you that?
Yes.
And the question is based on the fact that there is no daily routines I'm following. So sometimes it hits me like, maybe that happened because, I am not keeping track of what's happening on my spiritual side, Sometimes that's not even the case.
Yes.
Sometimes the devil is just testing me.
Yeah.
Sometimes the devil is just like, hey, you're too focused, let me just make you lose direction quickly.
So that thing when what is right. Sometimes more for 1 hour you need to pray.
You need to. Yeah.
You need to pray. Maybe light your candle.
It's a natural. It must be a
natural thing. Like it's a something that it's on your routine. Every time more Jackson, you need to do this and this. Okay, more Jackson. Okay, we've got that corner space.
Yeah, you have your little. But now, sorry, I have another question before we go too deep into that.
Yes.
Especially for people that, let's say Ohamba no Muntu, like or let's say you're walking with your mom and your dad's ancestors.
Yes.
For those people, it is necessary Uguti, because now, I don't know. Let me just rather tell you what's confusing me there.
Yes.
Prayer. There is our Father who art in heaven.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Which doesn't include Abakoko na Bomkulu, unless you quote them. Uguti na Abakoko na Bomkulu, our Father who art in heaven. Then you continue with the prayer up until you say heaven. Then you've somehow, I would say, summoned their ears to also listen. I would say.
Yes.
Because I believe there's different angels. God made different. He made angels that deliver prayers. He made angels that, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So I think you get what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah. So in order to think, okay, prayer. start with prayer, because everything starts with prayer. You can start
without summoning.
No. Yeah. Before summoning, because everything starts with God. God is the one. Then ancestors will follow.
Now, Moshe's in paper, and then
No.
Are you summoning the ancestors now?
Yes. Now, she's in paper. This is where you're communicating with your ancestors, because first thing first, you need to pray with Then after that you land on ancestors.
Sorry, for Nkulunkulu, which doesn't need a candle or anything.
No. You can burn the light, because we are sure to you can light the candle symbolizes the light of God.
If you don't.
Some people they do, but some else now seem yes to
this is strengthening the practice now.
Yes.
Okay.
So when if you feel like you can't light, it's fine. But one is but it can't symbolize light. That light we are asking, that's a light.
And then now when you call the elders, this is when you burn herbs such as
in paper. You burn in paper after praying.
After praying for the Heavenly Father who gives them power,
yes,
then you and those also who are very close to me.
Yes, your ancestors, because they are the one who works with God.
There we go. I feel like black men should listen to this thing.
Some we are lost,
I have conversations with people in Bloemfontein, especially people that are young with me.
Yes.
We have these conversations. I know friends that don't do ancestral at all.
Yeah, I can't blame them.
No, they're okay. Trust me. They're living a good life.
Yes.
What we call a good life.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
He has a house, he has a car, he has money, doesn't do any ancestral things. Which he explains is that, but my cousin and my mama does it. Which I kind of agree. This is where you told me. This is when the power of your ancestors comes in. If we now,
the other thing, like my mom, my cousin doing, they are helping him.
Oh,
they are helping him, because if they would pass away, this is where things will go sour.
Okay.
This is where things will go sour. So as like some people, they do attend my ancestors.
True.
But when you don't know, like your mom.
True.
Ancestors.
True.
Ancestors, it's a sign of it now. He includes you.
True.
He includes you. That's why most of the time, some youth often nowadays, they are ignorant, but their parents they are doing, because most of the time they come to us and consult. When we're telling them, they will tell you, my mom used to do this and 1, 2, 3, 1, 4, 4. Or I used to see my grandmother doing this and this and this and this and this and this. But us, we are ignorant. Like, for an example, as us black people, look at Indian people. They follow their route. And they are united.
They pray 4 times, or I don't know how many.
They are united in the things.
They are constant.
They tell you because they are even united. Us black people, we are not even united.
Okay, I see it.
Most of the time, we don't even believe in
your
ourselves.
ancestors, or even yourself.
You don't even believe in you. But you're gonna make it. We need something to push you. This is where it links. So
then the negative energy starts going.
So in life, sometimes you need to believe in yourself.
Okay.
You need to believe in about. Sometimes in first, when you go to consult, you need to fix someone in order to get the light. Don't go for your consultant for wrong reason, because some people they go to consult for wrong reason. They go to consult because of mental things. They go to consult with you, like all those things, because some of the time you consult we need to guide you and assist you, not because that's why in the Bible says there's
okay. I think I have found the greatest guidance right now in my life. The practice is find God, do not betray the trust. Once you found God, then you can, and not only if, you have ancestors.
No one. No, don't say if.
Everybody.
Everyone has ancestors. Don't say if. When you say if, you're talking some. Everyone has ancestors.
You know where the if comes from, because of the freedom that the youth has of, we don't do that.
Yeah,
we don't practice
the problem, the youth, they are lost.
Yes, and then
some of the youth, they are lost. But there's one thing that anybody some youth, they want to come back.
They have to.
They want to come back because they saw things the way it's because we are living life eseyiphilwa kwamanje it's fake.
Exactly.
And then into esithengiswa kuma social media, it's too fake because some people or about prophet, they need to tell the truth, but they are selling fake because there are a lot of shows when we are watching them. There's not even content with what we found. Like there are shows that are playing recently, like your ancestors.
Yeah.
When you look at that show, you can't even learn anything.
Now
it's all about cameras.
Yes,
it's cameras.
Being famous.
Yes.
Okay, this is why I was asking you the simplest stuff, such as all that. But I get it. You helped me so far. I feel like I should start with that.
Yeah.
And then do the daily routine. And then from there, I should just let the Lord do or the path do.
I am happy. You know what about so ibonile indlela. Ayi sibonge nani konke enilalelile nabantwana besithuna somoya. Ngithi ngibonge nami idlozi, ngibonge okhokho omkhulu basiphile ithuba. Sibonge nani konke sithi uNkulunkulu akathele umusa, uNkulunkulu angigcine azabe nani. Inkosi ithele umusa. Amen. Zokwenza kwenzeke.